I think being unbothered is like recognizing your self-worth and not letting anyone tell you differently, and just like knowing who you are and like what you stand for, what your principles are, and then just going through your life and just chasing after the things that bring you happiness and make you feel the most complete. That's what being unbothered is.
Yeah. Kaycee Clark, Rummans in the house, badass from Big Brother 20. You're amazing. This is my sister. I love her so much. And we, to be able to go in this Big Brother house, and I'm so thankful for the cast that we had, because honestly, I was terrified. I was like, there better be some cool ass people in this house or I'm walking back out. No, I'm just kidding.
We got lucky.
We got so lucky.
I know, I think back now, I'm like, thank God.
We got so lucky. And so, Angela, super badass, family for life, and I love this girl. I mean, if you guys don't know who she is, you guys are living under a rock, damn it, okay? Okay, yeah, so I got a couple questions for Angela, because, the way, you grew up and, your stories, growing up being super competitive and being so mind strong, us talking about all the stories inside the house, I was so intrigued and fascinated by like how your brain worked and how you did things and how you were able to get through hard times. Like, I know you got your book Unbothered. I bought it, but I didn't read it yet. I'm gonna get on it. So we're gonna definitely talk. Oh, look at
there
that! All from the sky. The
Ask
Unbothered.
and you shall receive.
So I'm super excited. We are gonna talk about this. What is it to be unbothered? Would you say? I mean, with your amazing book, what is it to be unbothered?
I think being unbothered is like recognizing your self-worth and not letting anyone tell you differently, and just like knowing who you are and like what you stand for, what your principles are, and then just going through your life and just chasing after the things that bring you happiness and make you feel the most complete. That's what being unbothered is.
Yeah, heck yeah. Just not even giving crap what other people think. These are my principles, my standards.
Exactly.
This is what makes me happy, and whatever you guys say about it, that's on you.
Yeah, you're just mind strong, you know your path and you know what you stand for and what makes you happiness, and if you just continue down that road, you will live your life unbothered.
That's awesome. When I first heard your title, girl, I was like, this is so fitting for you. It's like unbothered. Like, Angela is so unbothered. She don't give a crap what other people think, which I freaking love, because, in today's world, people just talk and think they know when they really don't. So when I heard that title, I was like, that's so perfect. So I love it. How do you stay true to yourself under pressure? I know you've been through a lot of pressure through life. How do you stay true to yourself? What would you say would be the secret for you?
Well, I feel like my whole entire life has been under pressure. It's like I started young as a gymnast, and, I had this like need to please my parents since I was really young. It's just something I was born with. I always wanted to achieve more, to get more gratification from them. And it's taken me my whole life to get to the point where I realized that I needed to live my life and do things to fulfill myself. And I think that like my journey over like my life was just realizing what it was I wanted and what it was other people wanted for me, and then just like kind of like wrapping my head around what I wanted and just going in that direction, and just ignoring what everyone else like was telling me I should do. Like, I shouldn't quit gymnastics and start pole vaulting. I shouldn't drop out of college and train for the Olympics. I shouldn't quit pole vaulting and start modeling. Like, everybody told me I shouldn't, but I knew my direction, I knew my happiness, and I knew that this was the path that I had to go down to achieve my happiness. And so, all those pressures of like family and parents and coaches and teachers that told me that I was choosing the wrong path, I think that's the kind of pressure that I've learned how to deal with. And I've done it by just, knowing that this was the right path for me to find my happiness.
Good for you. Good for you. Because, there's a lot of people out there that talk and they just feel like they know what your dreams should be. And you're like, no, this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
And this is what's going to make me happy.
Exactly.
Do you think like all the pressure that you went through in life helped you in the Big Brother house?
Oh, 100%. I think that everything in my life had prepared me to like get through that experience, because it's not something like your average person can get through. Like, it is grueling, and people watch it on TV and they're like, oh, you get to live in a house and get like free food and you get to play fun games a couple times a week. Like, no, it's actually brutal. And like training for the Olympics, you know, being an athlete since I was young, like those are the things that prepared me for it. And to think about, like, I went through 20 something years of training for that experience. Like, that shows how hard it was.
Yep.
JC used to say, like, this is the summer of my life.
That's summer of my life.
Best summer of my life.
And so that's what, isn't it wild? Because we are all fans of the show. Like, before, you know, we watched it, and then being on the show, and then now coming out, it's like we totally understand. It's like, okay, we understand why people are so emotional. We understand why people can be paranoid. We understand why, you know, like, there's just so much going on in your head, like not being able to sleep.
Yeah.
So being mentally tough is everything. And I think, you know, you growing up and instilling that and practicing it and just getting past it has helped you so much, because you held yourself very well in the house. You know, you know, there's so many times where you stay composed and you're so good at it, because you're like, I've been through pressure before.
Yeah, I've been through worse.
You know? Yeah. And I remember you talking about when you were pole vaulting, like before, you know, doing like a really big jump, it's like, you know, all these emotions are running through
and
you.
You have to channel it.
And you have to channel it.
You have to channel it to like a millimeter.
Yeah.
Like in pole vaulting, like you have all these like nerves and emotions before you like go to jump. And you have to make sure every step is on the exact same mark to the inch for 100 feet. And all those nerves like affect that. So you just have to like pretty much just like take all the like energy and like the, I don't know how to call it, like jitters.
Yep.
And you just have to like let go of that and just, you know, do what you know that you can do.
Right. Because would you agree, like, every human being goes through all these emotions, all these feelings, and it's all about just putting them in check and like practicing that. There's some people that will go through all these emotions and let it take the best of them. I mean, even if like just a person was like going through so much pressure of, I don't know, whether it's like, you know, kids and then family and work, or they're trying to just do something like different, maybe not like in like sports, but more so just like life, and going through the pressure of like, oh my gosh, I need to get this done. Or maybe in school, like I have a project I have to get done. If I don't get it done, then my life's gonna go downhill. But just the pressure, I guess even with those kind of situations, just kind of like to be able to learn to compose yourself and take deep breaths and get your thoughts together and like, I'm going to get through this.
Yeah, that's a huge skill to like be able to master.
Did you do a lot of self-talk in the house, would you say? Like, or were you in your head a lot as in like negative wise or like positive, where like,
I'm trying to think back. I was in my head a lot. I usually, I'm the kind of person that like thinks everything out in my head, and I have exactly what I want to say before I say it. Like, I really think things through. And when I do talk, I talk with a purpose. I'm not just the kind of person that's just gonna like ramble and just like word vomit, because I just
that's
get
what
you
I noticed
in trouble
about you.
in
That's
the Big
what I
Brother
noticed
house.
about you. She really does like think before she says something, which is awesome, because sometimes people just ramble on, but you like you're very strategic on like, okay, I know when to close my mouth, I know when to say something, and so I do notice that about you.
And it's interesting because when you're quiet, the other person feels the need to like fill the void, and so they'll start speaking. And so like when we would do those one-on-ones, like I would intentionally like make them feel really uncomfortable and just like let them start like opening up and unraveling. And like you get like little like hints here and there that maybe didn't make sense right off the bat, but like if you remember like little things they said, or like just something that came up in a conversation, it'll like connect the dots to something else later on, like in the game.
See, that's social strategy right there.
I guess so.
It is social strategy. Like you on purpose, you are sitting there and making it uncomfortable for them, where they're gonna want to like just keep spilling whatever, you know, and whatever. And then you just take in all the information, put it in your memory bank, and you use it to your advantage later on. But that's social strategy, you know. It's like you are on purpose, like staying quiet. You are on purpose, whether you're the way you're sitting, your physiology, your body language, and it comes across to them like, oh shit, I better say something. Oh shit, like they're asking for more, whatever the case may be. But no, that's huge.
Yeah.
So you already got it, you know what I'm saying? So that's what it is. It's like everyone does it on a daily basis, whether it's like you and one other person, whether it's you and 500 people, you're speaking to 500 people, you're doing things on purpose, you're saying things on purpose, your body language, whatever.
Yeah, definitely
to
body
move
language.
People. Yeah.
And the one thing I did talk about in my book was, you know, my family is not an emotional group of people. Like we don't talk about our feelings. We just like express ourselves through body language. And so like when my mom was upset like watching a gymnastics practice, she would cross her arms and be sitting back, or if she was anxious she would be like forward, like leaning like this. And so like I learned to read people's like emotions by just like analyzing them like physically and not speaking. I think that is definitely something else that helped me in the Big Brother house, because my family did not talk about their feelings. Like if something was bothering them, they were like quiet, arms crossed, looking down. Like
that is so crazy.
There was no words.
I hear there's some kind of crazy statistic where it's like your body language tells more than just the words that you're saying. So that's so interesting that you say that, because like subconsciously you're just learning that growing up when you're seeing them, you know, and by the time you get in a Big Brother, it's like you know how to read people. And that's such a huge advantage to be aware of that and be able to communicate with other people. Like, because every human being's the same. We all, if we're sad and like depressed, we're slouch. If not, we're up, and you know,
Confidence.
If we're walking with their head down, like you can, all these different things, and it's there, but sometimes a lot of people aren't aware of it. So that's huge that, you know, you being aware of that, because it gives you an advantage, because you just your social strategy, you're just more aware of it.
Yeah.
So
and another thing I've noticed, I don't know if you ever get this, like when you're like interacting with someone just like outside of like your personal space, and like you can feel when they are uncomfortable or if they're like,
oh yeah.
And sometimes I just have this like problem where I'll mirror their energy to try and like balance the like uncomfortableness. So if they're kind of like shy, I'll also be kind of shy, just to like make them more like interactable, I guess. And if they're like really like open and like social, and I don't know how to explain it, like just like not in a shell, I'm kind of the same way.
That's so good.
And it's just like kind of a way that I've always tried to like balance the like energy, because I feel like sometimes if like you come in like hot, like there's a couple of people in the house that were just like over the top, and like I felt like when I was talking to them I had to like always be on their level. Whereas like if I was talking to Scotty, I would be very just like mellow and like more muted, I guess.
No, that's huge. No, it's like, like it's kind of like being a chameleon. Like, you know, if someone's like nerdy, let's talk about nerdy things. If you're like girly, let's talk about girly. If you're, you know, soft spoken, I can be soft spoken. If you're upbeat, let's be upbeat. But it goes a long way, because now people are like, man, you're like me, and that's how people connect.
Exactly.
And so see, you get it. Like come on, this is a whole social strategist right here. Okay.
If I was like talking to Sam, like I wouldn't come in hot.
Right, exactly.
Like she would not take to that, you know?
No, that's totally true. There's some
just things you don't realize you're doing.
Exactly. And imagine, that's why it's like, this thing is so important. It's like, people can literally create and design their lives the way they want to if they know how to deal with people. You know, if you really know how to deal with people and, you know, just, you know, be socially strategic on what you're doing, and you're doing, you know, on purpose, it's like, you will attract positive people. Like when we all like met each other in the house,
it was
we
immediate.
vibed so
like
quick.
It was just like boom.
Yeah, it was the weirdest thing. It was the weirdest thing when we all felt comfortable with each other. We all just, it was the vibes and the energy, and it was on like super early.
So early, like day 2.
And it's like, so it's a real thing, and just like when you can put off good energy like that, it attracts those kind of people into your life. So I love it. Like what you're saying right now is like, when someone like kind of mirroring how they are, it goes a long way. Social strategist, Angela Rummans in the house. Okay, unbothered, baby. I love it. Yeah. How do you navigate social strategy unbotheredly?
Unbotheredly. Well, I think like in my life today, like the things that I have to deal with are more like on social media. Like I feel like the most people that I come into contact with socially is through Instagram or Twitter and some sort of social platform. And unfortunately, there is a lot of hate out there. And so the only way to deal with hate in my opinion, is to just let it bounce right off of you. Like if you like feed into it, if you defend yourself, like it literally does nothing. Like if you start to read something and you don't like it, you know what, delete it. Be done with it. You don't fire back. You just remain unbothered. It's the only way that I've seen that is the way to get through the kind of scrutiny that we have had to go through.
Oh yeah, it's inevitable too. Like especially with social media, people can talk so much crap behind that keyboard and know nothing's gonna happen to them. But what they don't realize is they are hurting. Like, I mean, you can be unbothered with the whole thing, but they need to realize as other human beings, and they also have feelings and emotions. Why attack someone that you don't even know? We need to air this. This is going to be edited in there because everyone needs to know. Like, it's like people are just so mean sometimes for no reason, and they don't even know you. And it's like,
It makes me think, like, what happened to them in their life? I always think that something happened that triggered it, and
For
like
sure.
they're dealing with something that happened in the past, and they're projecting onto other people today.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I want to like go back and be like, what happened to you? Like, what do you need help in? Like, what went wrong that caused you to want to be so negative to all these people that you don't know?
Yeah. No, it's totally a thing, you know, just
Like,
having
fix the problem.
sympathy for them because it's like they're like that for a reason, you know.
Exactly, yeah.
And it sucks it has to be that way. But yeah, there's definitely an underlining. You never know what someone else is going through.
You never know. And like, I feel like maybe I reminded someone of someone they went to school with that was mean to them. Yeah. Like, they saw like a girl that looked like me that they went to school with, and they reminded them of me, and now they just want to kill me. Yeah. They want to go at me in every direction, attack me with every angle, and it's all because of something that happened to them long ago. You know, it's so unfortunate. Yeah. Oh. I always think about that. I'm like, I wonder if I remind them of someone. Yeah. Like, what is the need? Like, where does this come from?
Right. I agree, because every day, you know, we run into people, and there's always people that are just extra, like, you know, like just like angry, and there's definitely always an underlining to it, and like there's a reason why, and you know, just trying to. So that's so awesome that you kind of see, you know, you try to see it from a different perspective, because you never know.
You can forgive them for that. Yeah. Like, it gives you a reason, like a lens to look through that like allows you to forgive these people for like the things that they're saying to you.
Yeah. Damn. Unbothered. Angela Rummans. That's so awesome though. You totally get it, and you really, it's like you just get on the other people's perspective and not take it so personal, because they don't know you. Yeah. You know, at the end of the day, you know who the hell you are. Exactly. You know, and so if they want to attack you, and if that makes them feel better, then so be it. You know, and
there's a quote. It's would you take criticism from someone you wouldn't take advice from, or something like that? Right. And I always think about that. I'm like, would I take advice from this person? No. Yeah. Would I? Why should I take criticism from them?
No, that part. Okay. Well, yeah. What would you say is a secret to a strong mindset? Like, maybe if someone's out there is like, man, I want the mindset like Angela Rummans. Like, what's like a tip, I guess, you can give someone to be like, you know what, maybe you can practice this. What would you say?
I would say to get clear about your goals. Like, if you know what you want, like in the long run, it's easy to stay on track and to stay motivated when you have that like image of what you're going for in the back of your head at all times. Like, when I was starting my business, like I had an image of the lifestyle that I wanted to create for myself. Like, I was living with like a roommate and like this dump in San Diego, and I was just like, I was so motivated to just grind like 12 hours a day, because I knew that I could create a life for myself that I wanted, and I could stay motivated with just that image in my head. And so it allowed me to just like keep pushing through every day and just like grinding to get to that. And eventually, like, I kept that image in my head so strong that it manifested.
That's awesome. Just having clarity of like where the hell you want to go. Yeah. That's so awesome. Yeah, because when we talk inside the house, I'm like, this girl, she is so inspiring. Like, all that you talk about, you being such, just going for what you want. And that's why I'm so excited to like pick your brain, because I'm like, you're on a whole nother level with like, because like your mindset too, and then going from like, since you were 5 years old, doing gymnastics. Siri, I'm not talking to you. So I respect it. I really do. You inspire me to like push harder and really just focus, because it's hard for me to focus sometimes, so it takes a lot. But, hearing your story and where you came from, it's like everyone has to hear this, everyone has to hear this. And like, how does Angela do it? Because that's super badass. You were younger than me, and you are just so, I feel like you're just so focused, and you don't let things like, bother you, so
bother you.
Right. So I respect it. That's huge. Yeah. What would you say is the importance of social strategy in the Big Brother house and in life? What would you say? Like, your words.
To be honest, I think, I'm not going to say I had the best social strategy in the house whatsoever. My social game wasn't the best, and I'll be the first to admit that. But I think that, in life, the things that I took from the game that I can relate to my life now, like what I learned from in the house that I was able to take with me and grow, is just being able to relate with people that are not from your walk of life, like to like listen to them and like be empathetic with them. And it allows you to just relate to someone on like another level, and it just bonds people to the point where like we become family, And I think that, moving forward in my life, the relationships that I like my relationships with my family have gotten better because
awesome.
I've realized that these bonds that you make through like the levels of interaction that we had, it really just like you'll go so much farther when you can just relate to people on that level.
Yeah, no, that's huge. Because I think it was cool too. Like, you just made me think of something. Like, in the Big Brother house, yeah, they throw 16 random people in there with different backgrounds, and we were all able to relate or get along in some kind of way.
Yeah.
Like, if we were in the regular world, we wouldn't, like Sammy was saying. She's like, I would have never imagined like hanging out with like you know, going to a bar or something, because it's like, you know, you and Sam.
Cross paths.
Yeah, so I think it's such a great life lesson. Like, you go into this house with, you know, so many different backgrounds, and to then take that with you and come out of the house and know that there are different personalities, there are different characters, and to be able to just look at everyone as just human beings with different, you know, backgrounds.
Yeah, I just identify that everybody is the same, even though we're from different walks of life. Like, at the end of the day, we're all people, we're all the same, and that's a way that we can relate to anyone in this world, really.
Yeah, it's huge. I think sometimes people forget. What I like to remind myself too, like, if I'm gonna meet someone that's like super like successful, like, I just remind myself, Kaycee, is like, people are people. We are all human beings. We all have emotions, we all have feelings, we all have fears, we all have intentions, we all have dreams. We all have all of it, you know, the same thing. It's just like, and it's just about being able to like interact and talk with them, and strategically, you know, using your social skills or whatever it may be to just get to know them on a different level.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
There's so many different angles to it. That's why I'm so excited about doing this whole socially obsessed, and now picking everyone's brain on like, you know, how do they look at it, and it really is a thing that it's like overlooked.
Yeah.
You know, it's like what we always say is like, it's
you don't think about it.
Yeah, you don't think about it.
It comes naturally, and it's not something that you like spend time being like, why did that interaction go so much better than this interaction?
Yes.
There's a reason.
Exactly.
And you really do have to like get down to the bottom of it and like pick through all the layers to figure out why you get along with someone so much better than another person.
Right. No, that's awesome. There it is, guys. Angela Rummans, my sister. Thank you so much. You're amazing. We got to talk a little bit about social strategy, her Unbothered book. You want to talk anything else about the book?
You can buy it on Amazon or barnesandnoble.com.
It's on barnesandnoble.com.
Yeah.
Barnesandnoble.com.
Hardcovers on Barnes & Noble, soft and hard are on Amazon, I think.
That's awesome.
I think it's probably quicker to get it off Amazon. Not that matters.
So get the book. I haven't read it yet, but I'm super excited. I'm already knowing there's gold in this book. So go ahead and get it. Amazon, barnesandnoble.com. And yes, it's awesome. I love you. Thank you so much.
I love you. Thank you for having
Family
me.
for life. I love you. Okay, let's see. Let me check my notes here.
It's so weird seeing you with the phone.
Right. Oh, why? Oh, because in the house?
Yeah.
I feel like I almost forgot my phone number inside the house.
Oh, I didn't.
You guys?
Mine's easy.
You
did? I know.